is Valley News Live at 4.
Good Friday afternoon, everyone. We begin with some breaking news. There's been a shooting in Moorhead. One man has been shot and police are looking for a gunman. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie joins us live from the scene. Courtney.
Thanks, Stacy. Things are looking pretty quiet right now, but at around 1:30 this afternoon, police had this entire area of 40th Avenue South blocked off in Moorhead, and they even put a local elementary school in a lockdown. They were called out to a home for a report of an accidental shooting. When they arrived, they found a man had been shot in his lower body, but the gunman had taken off. They said this seems strange since it was an accidental shooting, and they brought in a K-9 unit to search for him, but still no luck in finding our gunman. Now, the area has since been cleared, the lockdown has since been lifted, and our victim was taken to the hospital for his injuries. Still no word on his condition. Live in Moorhead, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much, Courtney. Here's a look at today's top 4 at 4. Unsealed court documents are shedding new light on a catastrophic crash that killed a 21-year-old Fargo man. 19-year-old Elijah Vistens is charged with criminal vehicular homicide, failure to report a death, and minor in possession of alcohol. Police say 21-year-old Isaiah Johnson was in the car with Vistens at the time of the single car crash. He was thrown from the passenger seat and died from his injuries. Vistens later admitted to drinking before the accident. Police are still looking for the man who they say is responsible for shooting 3 people at a downtown Fargo bar last weekend. Brandon Grant is considered armed and dangerous. Court records show he's now charged with 3 counts of attempted murder and 3 counts of aggravated assault with a dangerous weapon. As of Monday, police said all 3 victims were still in the hospital with serious but not life-threatening injuries. If you see Grant, call police. The man charged with attempted murder in a Valley City shooting says he'll do it again. Police say it happened just after 7 in the 500 block of 11th Avenue Southwest. The victim told police he woke up to find 26-year-old Alex Meridian standing above him holding a gun. The victim stood up and grabbed an unloaded AR-style rifle. That's when Meridian shot him in the abdomen. The victim is still recovering from injuries in a Fargo hospital. A man is in jail after firing a gun inside an apartment in Grand Forks. Police say it happened around 2 this morning on 17th Street South. 24-year-old Jordan Stone told police it was an accident and he didn't think the gun was loaded. The shot went through the floor and into the apartment beneath his. No one was hurt. Stone was arrested on charges of reckless endangerment. That wraps up today's top 4 at 4. Now here's a first look at our weather with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch.
Oh, what a day. Temperatures soaring into the 40s here in Fargo, and it was just awesome out there. Hopefully you had a chance to get out and enjoy. Look at the warmth down in the Gulf Coast states. Some cool air pooling in the Rocky Mountains and to our north. That's heading our way as we head into the weekend, so the warm air will not last. Get out and enjoy. Clear skies for most of the area tonight, but we are watching a little band of snow up near Winnipeg moving towards northwest portions of Minnesota tonight. This is a cool front. You can see how elongated it is. It's going to slowly sag southward, but for now, temperatures near 50, Jamestown and Oaks, and near the 40-degree mark in Lakes Country. Up north, beautiful weather pushed all the way up into Grand Forks. 43 there, 36 in Roseau. For Fargo tonight, you can see down at the Dakota Magic Casino, it's breezy there, but we will see temperatures falling and cloudy skies. We'll be in the 20s by late tonight, and we will not get out of the 20s all weekend. I'll have hour-by-hour details on how cold we get. There'll be some snow for some of us as well here in a few minutes.
All right, Hutch, thanks so much. A former West Fargo teacher made his first court appearance on a charge of luring a minor for sex online. Ron Thompson was released after promising to appear for an upcoming preliminary hearing or arraignment in late March. Police say evidence seized in the investigation shows explicit conversations and photos between Thompson and a girl he believed to be 14 years old, who was actually an undercover officer. A crash involving a street sweeper killed a person in Polk County. It happened around 9:45 last night. The street sweeper was heading northbound on Highway 75 when a PT Cruiser traveling in the opposite direction crossed the center line and crashed into it. The 19-year-old driver of the PT Cruiser was thrown from the vehicle and died. The 41-year-old driver of the street sweeper was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A woman who was a person of interest in a case involving fraudulent checks is now in jail. Amy Murray was arrested for an unrelated warrant, plus preventing arrest and assault of an officer while serving a search warrant at her home. Last month, Fargo police started investigating multiple cases involving checks that seemed like they came from the Cass County Jail. Murray and another woman were named as persons of interest in the case. They're no longer seeking the other woman. A third COVID-19 vaccine could be on its way. An FDA advisory panel is reviewing Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine. The hearing is considered the last step before the FDA formally grants emergency use authorization for the vaccine, which only requires one dose. Madeline Rivera reports from outside the FDA headquarters in Maryland.
The U.S. is poised to get its third COVID-19 vaccine. An independent FDA advisory committee met virtually to review Johnson & Johnson's coronavirus vaccine.
Here is the question for the committee. Based on the totality of scientific evidence available, do the benefits of Janssen COVID-19 vaccine outweigh its risks?
The FDA confirms that J&J's vaccine is slightly less effective than the Moderna and Pfizer shots overall, but showed 85% efficacy against severe illness and complete protection against COVID-19 deaths 28 days after getting the shot.
It is well tolerated and safe. We enrolled more than 19,000 participants in the U.S., paid particular attention to include a diverse population.
It also has advantages the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines do not. It can be stored at normal refrigeration temperatures and requires only one dose.
It can lead to the ability to reach both individual and herd immunity more quickly. Essentially, it simplifies the process.
The Johnson & Johnson shot was tested in part in South Africa while variants of the virus were spreading. Moderna announced this week it is preparing clinical trials for a booster shot for the South Africa variant. FDA authorization of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine could come as early as this weekend. If that happens, the vaccine could be headed to states next week. Johnson & Johnson says it expects to provide 20 million doses by the end of March. Madeline Rivera, CBS News, Silver Spring, Maryland.
Side effects for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine include fever, fatigue, and headaches similar to other coronavirus vaccines. Here's an easy way for you to stay on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information. Just use our VNL vaccine tracker. Visit our website or simply open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. A police dog is dead as a standoff between police and an armed man continues in Duluth. The standoff is now dragging into its 20th hour. It began at 8:30 last night when officers responded to a domestic disturbance call. When they arrived, officers learned the suspect had a felony and refused to surrender. K-9 Luna was then sent in to subdue him, but he shot her. Duluth police say they've removed a woman from the home, but they aren't sure how she's connected to the incident. Hundreds of people in the community and local veterans joined together today to honor the life of an unclaimed veteran with a memorial service. Through some research, new information about the life of Sheldon Bushrow has been discovered. Valley News Team's Brian Sherrod has the story.
Hundreds lining up to show their support to a veteran they have never met.
It's so overwhelming. Sorry. I didn't know that this many people would show up for him, so I'm so happy to be able to honor his life in this way with these wonderful people.
Sheldon J. Bushrow was born in Fort Wayne, Indiana on March 6, 1932. Bushrow spent part of his life in the U.S. Marine Corps, serving in Korea from 1950 to 1951. He passed away at the age of 88. This memorial service is the military's way of saying their final goodbye.
No soldier should ever be buried alone.
Through a Marine Corps League Confidants investigation, Bushrow's birth certificate, military record, and family tree was discovered. Bushrow has a sister that served in World War II, a brother that served in Korea and World War II, and a sister that served in the Navy. Before finding out about Bushrow's family, a veteran says,
"We are his family, and therefore we're burying our brother today."
Brian Sherrod, Valley News Live.
If you and your family are looking for fun events to check out this weekend, we have you covered. Throughout the weekend in downtown Fargo, you can check out a drive-through food truck fest, watch the film Fargo on the big screen, and enjoy some coffee and cocoa. The event is called Frostival, and almost all of the events are free. Local business owners tell us they're thankful to see attendees after the year they've had.
Really wanted to give them a platform to do things, so we're just really happy that we were able to have this event.
Just go to our website, valleynewslive.com, for the full list of events. 35 NDSU frat brothers have now spent almost 5 full days in the cold raising money for a special cause. So far, they've raised more than $14,000. That's less than $1,000 shy of their $15,000 goal. They'll still be outside a loaf and jug on the corner of 12th Avenue North and University Drive until midnight tonight, completing 120 hours outdoors. The funds will go to their charity Down Home, used to refurnish homes for people who are just emerging from poverty. More ways you can give can be found on valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. Tomorrow, Gray Media, which owns Valley News Live, is partnering with the Grand Ole Opry to bring in donations to Feeding America. Chris Jansen and Travis Tritt are among several other artists that will appear, all in an effort to help people who have been affected by various disasters this year. This show will air live this Saturday on both KVLY and KXJB at 8 p.m. Up next, the latest as the House is preparing to vote on the president's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package.
And a few enjoy temperatures in the 50s today in southeast North Dakota and northeast South Dakota. A lot of 40s up and down the Red River Valley. We'll have details on some changes coming your way as we head into the weekend. Cold and flakes are in the mix. I'll have the latest right after this.